Hi, I'm Jan and this is Sarah, and we are not able to have the parent meeting tonight because they're telling everybody we have to be out of school by 5:45. So we're going to try and do the next best thing and film this and send to you. If you have questions at all, please text or call us, and we're going to provide the numbers. Oh, but they're backwards, so that doesn't work.
Except won't they see it normally?
I don't know. I think it's upside. Anyway, mine's 913-235-2926.
And I'm 913-558-3500.
Okay, so we're going to go over some of the basic information that you guys will need and that the students will need, and then, so we'll start with that. So.
All right, all meals are going to be covered by BPA, so breakfast, lunch, dinner for all the time that we're there. If your student wants to bring extra money for snacks or other things, they're welcome to. There will be a concession stand at the church on Friday, and it will be open. Or if they just want to buy some extra stuff, they might want to bring some money for incidentals like that.
Okay, so there's some things that we want to make sure that the students bring with them. We'll have packets that will have their schedules and all that Sarah will give. I'm going to take off tomorrow with Juliana and Jordan, who are state officers. We have to be down there. So Sarah will be bringing everybody else on Thursday morning. They're leaving the school at 7:30. So they need to be here and ready on the bus by 7:15, and we'll leave at 7:30. So the students need to have at least 3 dress outfits, and preferably for the boys, if you have a suit, that's what you want to wear. If you're a team competition, we've talked about, your matching ties and shirts and things like that. So just be aware of that. But if you don't have a suit, then definitely shirt, tie, dress pants, and dress shoes. You cannot wear jeans. You cannot wear tennis shoes. They will disqualify you if you walk into the competition with that. Okay, so they're going to be really strict with that at state this year because students have gone on to nationals and then worn things into nationals and been disqualified. So we're going to make sure that we are working with that at state, and we just got a note on that. So make sure that you have at least 3 outfits. You don't want to wear the same outfit for all 3 days because we do our opening session competition. And then on Friday, we do competition all day. And then on Saturday morning, again, we're in for the closing ceremony and the award ceremony. So make sure that you pack that. Girls, be mindful. We're not going to a dance. It is professional dress. Your skirts need to be, if you're wearing a skirt or dress, inch above the knee. And it's better to err on the side of, too long rather than too short. And not too, don't make sure that's not tight. Same thing with your shirts and blouses. They're not to be low cut, no peekaboo shoulders. So I know that's kind of the fashion, but that's not what you're going to be wearing when you're competing. So make sure that you're covering up and that you're wearing professional dress. And then parents, if you would please check the suitcases when the students are, packing their suitcases, and make sure that what they have in there is appropriate. We have some things we'll talk about coming up, but it's very important that you're mindful of what they're putting in their suitcases before we put it on the bus. Okay. All right. So on Friday night, there is a social. And so the theme for the social is carnival, and they can just wear relaxed dress, jeans and t-shirt, shirts for Friday night. So, and then right before the social on Friday night is the caucus, and the voting delegates have to be dressed up. So our 4 voting delegates and our 2 candidates will have to be dressed in business dress for that, and then they can go change. We're at the hotel, social's at the hotel, so we're good with that. All right, and then so we're going to hop right into, Sarah and I cover. We know if I'm at the church with the competition, she's at the hotel helping kids get back and forth. Same thing on Thursday night. They'll be at Eisenhower at the high school, so I'm over there with the competitors, and she's at the hotel making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. So it's very important that the students communicate at all times. If they're hopping on a bus, because there are shuttle buses besides our own personal bus that we'll be taking for Shine Mission, if they hop on a shuttle bus and head back to the hotel, we have to know at all times. So we found this nifty little app. So I'm going to let Sarah talk about that.
All right, it's called Life 360. And I don't know if you can see a little picture of it. It's this bottom app right here, sitting on top of the picture of my adorable niece and nephews. And it's purpley with the white swirlies. It's called Life 360. And your student just needs to join that app, and they have to enter in a code to join our state BPA circle, and it lets us track their location. And this is not optional. Your student has to get the app. They have to join it so Jan and I can see where they are at all times. and the code they have to enter is VLBBWU. And once the trip is over, we will get rid of the circle, so we're not going to be tracking them when we're done. It's just for the time that we're in Wichita. So it is important that they have that, and if at any time they like disappear or they're somewhere where they're not supposed to be, we will call them or text them and say, what's going on? Where are you? And if there's a serious problem, we'll address it as needed.
Yeah, and you also as parents can hop on there too, so you can track and see where your kids are and what they're doing throughout the stay with us. So, okay, so going along those lines, we take their safety and our safety very seriously. We take our reputation as Shawnee Mission Northwest staff and students very seriously, and so we don't want to be that team that gets caught doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. We follow the CASHA guidelines, so no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, none of that. If you are caught with that, a parent will be called to come down and get them. If it's 2:00 in the morning, parents, you will be coming to get your child. It's the school's policy. We don't keep them there. Once they violate something like that, they are out of our hands, and you will have to come and get them. And so please have that conversation with your students. Vaping is a big deal in the school right now. We're having lots of issues with it, and so we don't want to be put in that position. We don't want to have the rest of our team be put in that position. And so, team members, while you're watching this, it's serious. We've got a reputation to uphold when we are representing Northwest, and when we're at these competitions, we expect you to be on your best behavior. We don't expect to have to deal with any of that kind of, takes all the fun out of what we're doing and just gives us a bad name. And so we need to make sure that you guys understand that if you do something like that, if you have it in your possession, even if you have it in your possession and you tell us, I didn't vape, that you're going home, okay? So don't put us in that position. Don't put your teammates in that position. If you are a teammate and one of your roommates has a vape in their bag, you are obligated to tell us to inform us of that, So if you don't, you're as guilty as that person that's got that. So, don't bring anything to, any alcohol, any of that. All of that has to stay home and not okay to have with us. So make sure you understand that. You all signed those forms saying that you would abide by the regulations of the BPA National Office, and that's part of it, is that you do not violate any of those. So just make sure and know that we can go into the rooms at any point. We can get security to go into the rooms. We can go through the bags. That it is not a privacy thing for you when you are traveling with us. It is the safety of the students. And if we feel like there's a reason, something is in your bag or in your room that doesn't belong there, we can get security and we will go in there and we can search your bag. So just know that and don't put us in that position. Okay? Please is right. Okay, we have some great students, and so I don't want to have one student ruin it for everybody. And despite, I know people make mistakes, but that's not a mistake we're going to make on this trip. Okay, so we've covered dress, we've covered the party.
The pool.
Oh.
The pool is under renovation, so very sorry, but there is no swimming on this trip. I know people like the hot tub, but I'm very sorry.
Yeah, so there will be a little bit of time to hang out, probably on Friday afternoon, late kind of afternoon before we go for our team dinner. And so, just kind of be thinking about that. Sometimes people will bring PlayStations or things like that to plug in, and that's perfectly fine. Just know that pool, normally that's when we do pool time, and that won't, that's not going to be an option for us. So, okay.
And then nationals.
Okay, and then nationals. You need to be able to declare if you are going to nationals. So you're not obligated to go to nationals. So if you place and are one of the people that gets to go to nationals, you have to tell me, yes, I can, or no, I can't go. And then I sit in a meeting right after our award session, and I declare if you can or can't go. And so it's very, very important that if you tell me you can go to nationals, that we make that clear, because within the first week after our state competition, we start making our travel arrangements for nationals. And our nationals are in Anaheim this year. And so typically, people ask for, the cost. And the unfortunate thing is it all depends on how many we get going to nationals, because we share rooms and the cost of the flights and stuff, that can be fluctuate a little bit. So we typically say it's around $1,000. However, the district has been very good at providing money for us. The school provides money, and typically it's just going to cost the flight. So somewhere between $250 and $350 is typically what it's cost the students. They cover all their meals. Students cover their own meals, so it would be flight, meals, any excursions we go on, and what else? Souvenirs.
Yeah, in the past they've worked really hard to bring the costs down as much as possible. So to really make it an affordable situation.
Right. And so if cost is the only thing, please don't let that be the thing that keeps you from going. You can declare that you want to go and then talk to us about that, and we'll help figure some things out, because we do have some other options as well if we need that.
Yeah.
So be sure that if you have any questions after watching this, that you let us know. We've given you our numbers. You can email us. But if this storm does come and we're not here, I'm heading out, like I said, tomorrow with the 2 officers. Sarah will be here
Thursday morning, and we'll be meeting on the west side of the building. That's the side that has the little station with the police officer, and we'll be there by 7:15. Like right in that entryway, and we're just gonna put stuff on the bus, and because we're also meeting with North and West. The other high schools are meeting us there too. So we have a lot of students to coordinate. So we need to make sure everyone is there in a timely fashion.
Okay. And then one other thing, I think people always ask, do they need to be dressed on the bus? First of all, the bus will probably be cold. Yeah, so you make that decision about whether or not you want to dress up, but you can change, just have your clothes available for easy access to change at the hotel in the bathrooms, because we may or may not have rooms before we go into the opening session, which starts at 1:30. It's a little bit earlier this year than normal. So just make sure that you have that available. Here's the issue about wearing them on the bus is, number one, it's cold. Number two, if you wrinkle it, you won't have a way to straighten it out. So just keep that in mind.
Most students wear like sweats and sweatshirts and stuff, and then they change when we get there. We should have plenty of time after we get to Wichita to change, barring any weird travel situation.
Yeah, and you guys will be eating almost right away when you get to Wichita. You'll have lunch before you get over to the hotel in the session. So let us know if you have any questions, and we're excited to have our team head to state, and we're looking forward to a lot of them going on to nationals.
Best weekend of the year.
Exactly.